I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. Solomon's University Part 2 is where we are today. I love what's happening with this this teaching. I've been doing this Proverbs chapter 3 for 16 years, and we have barely scratched the surface of the depths of the wisdom of Solomon in his writing. And I love what's happening now. Now we're attending Solomon's University. That's right. He's our teacher, and me, I'm just a teacher's aide to teach us all the fundamental things about life, nation building, health, wealth, and a whole lot of other great things. That Solomon, and this is not going to be my thing. It is fascinating, literally fascinating, what we've been able to learn. We're at Solomon. We're at Proverbs chapter 3. Starting at verse 11 now to verse 20. And Proverbs chapter 3, verse 11 says, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary in his corrections. And let's see what it says. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. I got it right there. And the engineers got it as well. Put it up there, Miss Engineer. This is where we are at present in terms of what we're doing. But Solomon's University, so here's the idea. Sister Kane, here's what you want to do. We're sitting in the university, right? And we're not going to, this is not Harvard, this is not Yale or Princeton or New York or Columbia. This is Solomon's University. You get the idea? Oh, come on now. No, and obviously we're going to be, quite seriously, I do pray that as a result of our teaching as such, that we would be qualified in the general areas that Solomon is teaching, and that our intellectual strengths and economic understandings would exceed those who graduated Yale or Princeton or Harvard or Oxford or Cambridge. You get the idea? I'm quite serious about this. By the way, let me ask you, thank you, Mr. Engineer, have any of you noticed even just a small incremental change, or at least in terms of the growth of 20%, which is pretty, I suppose, aggressive and ambitious? Have any of you noticed some change towards that attaining that 20% increase in your life? Have you noticed any change? Or better yet, well, not better yet, but even so, have any of you noticed areas where you really want to focus on growth and increase? Have you? I pray that you have. And I would think that since we started with 40 days on the first 10 verses of Proverbs chapter 3. And now this is day 4 of Proverbs chapter 3, verse 11 through 20. And we're only going to do 7 days of this, and then we're going to move on down the line on the teaching of the Proverbs. But let me share something with you. Which I perceive that Solomon has taken from his father David, and what I have taken, because I've now, after all these years, just realized that the same thing that Solomon asked for when God came to him in Gibeon at night, God came to me in Brooklyn House of Detention at night. The same thing that Solomon asked for is the same thing that I asked for. Now, the Lord didn't give me at that point in time in the Brooklyn House of Detention all of the things that he told Solomon, but I see it unfolding as my life and my ministry increases. That as I do the ministry, I come upon the wisdom and the understanding, but I have to push forward in the ministry. So here's something that I want to share with you. It'll help you take a greater look at yourself. Now we're going to get into the law that Solomon taught, the economic success, the health and happiness, the peace. We're getting all of the truth We're going through all of that. I'm just very excited, trying to accomplish as much as I can accomplish today. But here might be some things that you might want to, that I think are the traits of Solomon. Now, I taught this going back several years ago. But I believe it comes from my meeting with Jesus. Here, okay, let me tell you what it is. How you are with your father is how you will be with the world, with every position that you are given. How you respond to your father, how you respond to chastening, how you respond to instruction. Now listen to me very carefully, my son. Listen to me very carefully, my son. Listen to me very carefully. How you respond or responded if your father is not alive, how you responded to your father is how you will respond to your pastor, how you will respond to the world, how you will respond to your employer, how you will respond to circumstances. My son, despise not chastening of the Lord, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth. All right, we settle in. How you respond, and this is pretty much a male, if you will, area of discussion. I'll get to the female aspect of this later on. If not, then the next time we get together. But in fact, what I've done in days gone by, well, let's just jump right ahead onto the female portion of this as well. How a man responds to his father growing up in the house will be how he will respond to the authority in his life, no matter where he finds it. No matter where he finds it, how he responds to that, how he responds to his father's authority will be how he responds to everybody else's authority. Now, why is this important? My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord. So now, if you are chastened by your father and you despise it, you're going to despise any other authority. You're going to despise it when the boss man tells you to come in on time. You're going to despise it because that's who you are. It has nothing to do with the boss man. It's how, now if your father corrects that, if your father sees that you got a bad spirit about you and you despise his chastening, if he takes out the rod and corrects that, and it may take a few years to get that out of you, now you're ready for the rest of the world. But if he doesn't get that out of you, you're going to respond to every employer, every authority, every police officer, every pastor, everybody that's in charge that has some authority. You're going to respond to them the exact same way you responded to your father. Are you listening to me? And Solomon's teaching up in here now. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord. Be not weary in his correction. You follow me? So let me just jump ahead to I did this teaching in a similar fashion. Usually when I counsel people to get married, I'll have the man and woman there, the young woman and the man, whoever it is, well, yeah, the man and the woman. And so I'll say to the woman and the man and the woman in particular, I say, listen, how the way you responded to your father is the way you're going to respond to your husband. See, if that spirit of honor of your father, respect of your father, help of your father, if that spirit of honor and respect and obedience to your father is in the woman, I would say, then that's how she's going to be with you. That's how she's going to be with her husband. That's how she's going to be with him if that's the way she was with her father. I'll come back to that. But the way a man is with his father is the same way he's going to be with every single authority in his life. And his father, if he honors his father, if he's obedient towards his father, if he's respectful towards his father, then he's going to be that way when he meets a police officer. Or he goes to work and he has an employee, has a boss man, has a pastor. He's going to respond to the pastor the same way he responded to his father. It's just a pattern. That we don't have to worry about so much. What we have to worry about, what we want to work on, of course, is for you to look and say, well, I despise the chastening of the Lord, my father rather. So now I despise, I would point out most church people, they don't want to hear anything about rebuke. They don't want to hear anything about God's rebuking them, God correcting them, God chasing them, God cursing them, mainly because they probably were raised in a home where the father and mother did not have the ultimate chastening power to correct them. Now remember, we're at Solomon's University, is that right? Please listen to me. Please listen to me. Because it isn't too late. Let's say, for instance, you say, well, Pastor Manny, I heard what you said the other day about how you raised your hand. You were 16 years old. You raised your hand to fight your father. I did. Well, I did. It's very painful. It's still painful now, even though I got it right with him. He received me, but the fact that I did that. Now, the fact that I did that makes it all the more poignant for me to teach it. And so other people will not do the same thing. Or the other people know you've done something similar, that you can be released as God has released me. But what I want to say to you is this, is that here at Solomon's University today, that might be one of those, wait a minute. I heard you teaching Pastor Manning about how you can get 20 more minutes. Everybody else only gets 24 hours out of a day. But now what Solomon said, the length of days, I'm now going to get 24 hours and 20 minutes. I'm going to live longer. I'm going to have a better, greater day than the average person, no matter who they are, because of Solomon's teaching. Great. But here's the thing. That this might be a key. The Lord told me to tell you this. This might be a key to understanding what might be restricting a large portion of your life is because you need to go back and see where how you responded to your father. It says how you respond to the words of God. I said the pastor earlier, I said the employer, the police officer, the man of authority, but ultimately how you respond to God. He's the ultimate authority. And when you see these people running around here talking about we're no longer under the law, they don't want any authority in their lives. And you got plenty witch doctors and shysters calling themselves pastors and preachers who tell people you're not under any authority anymore. You see where we're going with this? All right, so here. I'm coming back to that. But let me just ask the question, have you noticed any change in your life? Do you feel like it's possible that you can actually increase your life by 20%, that you can get 20 more minutes out of every day? Because if you haven't done it, if you don't feel that you've accomplished it yet, do you believe that you can? And all you need right here, my friend, is the belief. You may not have the success. All you need right now is the belief. And by the way, always apply that principle. This is more teaching from Solomon, from Solomon's University. All you need is the belief. And you may not have it yet, but all you got to do is believe. If you have not accomplished yet, if you haven't bought that house yet, you haven't haven't gotten married yet, you haven't graduated school yet, all you need is the belief. That belief is just as good as the thing. That's right. So all you need is the belief. Do you have the belief that you're going to increase 20%? Then you're good to go. I got to move on to the next student now. I've corrected your paper, and I'm going to give you an A+ in Solomon's University today. Here in Solomon's University today, I'm going to give you an A+, because if you got the belief, Pastor, you say, Pastor, man, I believe I can grow by 20%. I believe I can increase by 20%. I believe, well, then you're good to go. Let's see what the next student's going to say. So your increase and that you, and some of you may have noticed something like maybe this is so small, may not be 20%, but incrementally you probably feel that, or at least I pray that you feel that somehow or another that things have changed for you. I want to also, we talked about, or at least I taught from Solomon's University, that we need to work on our patience and to increase our critical and hard decision making. It is those difficult situations many times that God brings into your life to challenge you, because without that, you probably wouldn't rise to the level of where you need to rise. So critical and hard decisions are very important. Never take the easy street. Never take the easy way out. Narrow is the way and straight is the gate of those that truly find their lives. And if you're going to find your life, you got to lose your life first. You got to lose all that before you can find your life, Jesus says. So when you're making, and oftentimes you may not be at the level of where I pray to get everybody through this teaching in Solomon's University. I pray to get you somewhere, because you're going to have to understand you made the easy decision, so you got an unimportant life. You made all the easy decisions. You took the easy way out. And so you got an unimportant existence. You are unimportant. You're not because you took the easy way out. It's those hard and critical decisions, Solomon says, that makes us the people of note and of power. So we're going to learn exercising more patience. Remember the story I told you about the young bull? He was up on the hill, and there was a bunch of cows down in the valley. And so the young bull said to the old bull, "Hey," he told the old bull, "Hey, let's run down there to the valley where all those cows are and have sex with one of them." So the old bull looked at him and said, "I tell you what, why don't we do this? Why don't we just walk down the hill and have sex with all of them?" Anyway, y'all forgive me that if that was a little bit, a little too much for some of y'all, because some of y'all can't handle Pastor Manning. y'all got to grow up to handle Pastor Manning. Anyway, so patience is what that example says, and you got a greater. Good things come to those that wait. The old bull should have said to the young bull, "Good things come to those who are patient." It's what that parable explains. But also today I want to hear is to help you to target the increases and also the ancillary. Now, ancillary is a fancy word that says, well, if you stick your hand into, let's see, what was a good example? Into a mud puddle, because you want to pick up a dime, you drop the quarter in the mud puddle, right? So you stick your hand down in the mud puddle to pick up the quarter. You'll get the quarter, but you're also going to get some dirt. That's ancillary. You're going to get some grass. That's ancillary. You'll get some water. That's ancillary. You might even get some bugs. Your goal was to get the quarter. But the ancillary, the things that are going to happen as a result of your going for the quarter, ancillary at Solomon's University. Write that down. Put it in your dictionary. You just learned a new word here in Solomon's University today. What you want to do is that you want to target if you will, certain items, and then the ancillary things will happen as a result of that. And you want to start, I tell you, can I share this? Don't tell anybody outside our group here. Don't share this outside Solomon's University, right? I have targets of becoming I'm laughing because I want to say I want to become a super saint, right? Now, when I say super saint, I don't mean somebody who ain't never sinned, who's always You won't even look at something sin. You see, something look like sin. I never thought about sin. Never had them. That's not what I'm talking about. That ain't what I'm talking about. But I do want to become a super version of James David Manning. You hear what I'm saying? I want to become a super version of the lessons I've learned. Super version. A super Negro. Oh, I think I need to pray. But no, now I tell you this. See, here, a lot of people want to have super bodies. That's good. I'm not interested. People go to the gym, they work out, they running. Years ago, people were running. They call it everybody running and running. I've never done that. Everywhere I go, I walk or drive a car. I don't do nobody's running. I did buy an exercise machine. I got on two or three times, and I pull those things back and forth, the pedaling, you're running in treadmill. I said, this ain't for me. If I'm going to gain weight, Lord help me, but I ain't doing this. But some people want to have a super body. But I'm simply using that because I want to become a super version of James David Manning and the things that I've learned. That's what I'm talking about. And I pray that you would join with me in such. By the way, you need to shop at Bethel Marketplace. I heard a lot of y'all are shopping at Amazon and went out there with Black Friday and everything. And spending all that money, didn't spend none with Amazon, didn't spend none with Bethel Marketplace. You need to do that, because what you'll do is that you'll help us in our foreclosure expenses, fighting this great battle that we're fighting, and also you'll get some great gifts and some great items. So go ahead and do that.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So what does that mean? It's time to purchase your Christmas gifts from BetheliteMarketplace.org, where we have fine china, beautiful glassware, unique dishes and vases, musical instruments, jewelry that is sure to make you dazzle, wonderful apparel, and so much more. So, hurry today and place your order and enjoy a 50% off for a limited time. 'Tis the season to purchase your gifts from Bethelite Marketplace. Call 877-777-0734 and place your order today.